One of my favorite units of measurement is how high we are in terms of the Empire State Building. And right now we are one Empire State Building high here in the Côte d'Azur, right by Nice in the small little village of Ez. I'm Ariel, this is Urbanist, and let's explore the gardens here.
Good.
Merci.
Very good.
Very good, thank you so much. Behold the views from Ez, right over here, 1,400 feet high in the air in this beautiful mountaintop. And we're gonna see even more views, less obstructed by the cacti, because we're gonna go all the way up there. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm Ariel, this is Urbanist, and I'm super excited to show you beautiful Ez, at least the exotic gardens. It's a bit tough to actually live stream the actual town, so you have to use your imagination how gorgeous the town is. But we're going to stick with the gardens where we're unimpeded by huge Middle Ages structure that impedes on the cell phone reception. So look at this right here. We're here right now. We're going to make our way up there, the old fortifications. People leaving graffiti on the cactus. Oh my god, poor cactus. Yeah, it's good that they put the sign that says it is prohibited to write on plants. It is indeed. Hello everyone, welcome to the live video. Hello Ron, hello Kay, hello Isabel. Nice to see you here. Oh my. So in order to get from Nice, which is down there around the bend, all the way over here is about a 30 or 40 minute bus ride. Though the bus was so packed with people that I ended up taking a 20-minute taxi ride. It actually was really low cost. It was 20 euro, which is very reasonable compared to New York City. This would be like, it'll be like $90 if you were to do the same ride in New York City. So it was very convenient to come here via taxi. I use Free Now, which is one of the apps that works here. Bolt is the other one. And one little thing about behind the scenes of live videos, it took me about a good 15 minutes to get that intro, so I hope you enjoyed that intro. I had to wait until it was perfectly clear of people passing through. Oh, I'm so excited for this. I can't read comments because it's so sunny that the screen is just dark from my point of view. Maureen says, thank you for the beauty. I am so tempted to just... No, I'm joking. I didn't touch it. Ooh, wow. Beautiful sculpture. Marina. From one to the other. Similar yet different. Most certainly unique. Good little poem. So here it says, between floral cultures and traditional cultures. Here we can see, the fortification, pretty much how it looks today. So this has been in ruins for many centuries. The many greenhouses tell the persistence of flower civilization in Ez. Initially devoted to perfumes in the area of Grasse, cultivation developed in the surrounding areas of Nice at the same time as tourism and traditional agricultural activities. In Ez, besides wine growing, olive farming was a major economic and agricultural activity, as proved 40 tons of oil produced in 1853. I can attest to that because I just had the best meal in my life, specifically salad, best salad of my life here in Ez at a place called Delhi. I will post the photos soon on Instagram, but also post it up here on this live stream so you get to see it. Let me know if you want to see the salad I had. I usually don't go for salads unless if I'm in Greece, because Greece is known for salads. Otherwise, I'm not really that excited for salads. But I tried the salad niçoise, and oh my. Let's continue reading. Dried fruits and vegetables, figs, almonds, nuts, beans, chickpeas, also used to be significantly produced along the side of carob, hemp, cereal, fruit trees, and citrus fruits. Wow, lots of different fruits and veg. over here. Breeding consisted mainly of few heads of cattle, goat, and sheep. And of course, the indispensable mule. White mulberry leaves were also considered to feed silkworms. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Silk production as well. Wow. Ez was very productive for such a hilly place. Denny says, will you ever be visiting Portugal? Danny, like hordes of vloggers have descended upon Portugal. I am not sure. Can I give anything of value if I were to cover Portugal? Do you think my point of view of doing live videos would be worth it for Portugal? That would be different from the hordes of different vloggers and live streamers who have hawked over to Portugal, along with many other Americans as well. So exotic plants indeed. Ah. Ron says, where do you dock your mega yacht? My mega yacht is down there, Ron. You know, I said that I came here via taxi just to be humble, but you know, it's actually my mega yacht is my taxi is right there. Lauren says, I don't watch these other vloggers. Leslie says, you'll be sobbing on the way home because this trip has been so amazing. Yeah, indeed. We're taking a sweet, sweet time upstairs. This is just the gardens. I hope you enjoy. Yao Ko, hello from Hong Kong. And then Ni hao, nice to see you here. Yeah, there's a lot of succulents here. I'll zoom in on them in a bit. Let me show you the mountains. This one's even higher. So it should be 1,800, 1,900. Hello, Asrod, nice to see you here. Thank you so much for tuning in, Asrod. Marianne says, what a view. Oh yes, Marianne, thank you again so much for being a super urbanist, a mega urbanist, I mean. Thank you so much. I hope the postcards are arriving to you. Rhonda from Hollywood, Florida, nice to see you here. Rhonda, also thank you so much for being a mega urbanist. So right now we are one Empire State Building high. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the unit of measurement I use on my videos. Feet and meters are secondary. I just wanna, oh, that hurts. All right, it's crazy hot. I'm gonna need a hat. Yeah, I can't do this without a hat. Let me know for the people out there. Do you guys use hats when you're traveling to sunny places like these, or do you go hatless? I'm surprised. I see some French people, many French people actually, wear no hats. Hey, Sunshine with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Sunshine. You're bringing sunshine upon this broadcast with your super chats. Thank you. Chris says, yeah, I always bring a cap. Oh my God, says, it looks like Arizona, but with ocean. Yeah, basically, this is basically Phoenix, Arizona, but we have beautiful blue seas. Ludo says, yeah, you bring a cap, forehead burns easily. Here we have another. A seaside resort with the charm of the Belle Epoque. Seaside Ez, at the foot of the Ez village, this area right over here, has preserved the charm of the small Belle Epoque seaside resort. I think some type of ship is trying to dock right now.
Aïe aïe aïe, Chris, ma parole.
Ça va, hein?
Ça
Mais
va?
ça va. Et heureusement qu'on va. Demande au monsieur s'il a eu. Si t'as filmé en fait par la vitesse.
Alright.
Ça t'a fait mal, hein?
Nika says, yeah, I got a huge sun hat. Yeah. I was distracted. The woman almost fell. The rocks are a bit slippery, similar to the Acropolis. Friedrich Nietzsche spent a few days in Ez in 1883. Seaside Ez was, in his words, wonderfully hardy and serene. I don't know why. Why is the south of France so ardent with Friedrich Nietzsche? What's the man was so depressing in his writings. Why such the affection for him? I'm so curious. If any French urbanists are out there, let me know what's your point of view with Friedrich Nietzsche, because he's mentioned so many of these writings, and I don't really associate the south of France with Friedrich Nietzsche. Wow. So Princess Antoinette Grimaldi, the sister of Prince Rainier III, established her main residence here in Ez. So speaking of Monaco, this used to be the very outer limit of Monaco, Ez, and then extended down to Menton, which is another major city in the French Riviera as well. This depressing philosopher. Yeah. It's so weird. It's such a kind of juxtaposition to mention Nietzsche, who really didn't have any writings that associate with sunniness or joy. But there is one person who had joy in his heart that did come here. Let's not talk about Nietzsche. I don't know what's up with those signs. Instead of Nietzsche, why don't you mention Walt Disney? Walt Disney came here to Ez and apparently fell in love with Ez. He stayed in one of the nearby chateaus here that was a hotel room. And apparently he loved it so much. I'm not sure if it directly was used in a Disney film, so let me know if any Disney films kind of looks like this. But a lot of people like to gloat that he came over here. Yvette says, magnificent views. Oh yeah. Be Good from Torrance. Nice to see you here. Welcome. The choice of landscapes for princes and film directors. Ooh, I like this. Our mountain landscapes with coastal roads winding through the steep cliffs impressed many visitors, inspired scores of writers. Madame de Genlis, who looked over Louis Marie Adelaide Bourbon. Wow, oh my God, what a name. Louis Marie Adelaide Bourbon Pentavere Children's traveled in a sedan chair in 1780. For George Sand in 1868, he said, "It is a most breathtaking road landscape, the most accomplished state-of-the-art achievement." Look who we have again. We'll skip him. It says Alfred Hitchcock, To Catch a Thief, starring Grace Kelly, who ended up being the princess of the nearby micronation of Monaco, which is down that way. And Cary Grant also starred in a film that used this as his inspiration. I'm not sure if they shot on location here. Princes and VIPs from around the world, from sports to show business, have also stayed in Ez full-time holidays, such as Prince William of Sweden. Oh, interesting. Marielle Gabrielle of Savoy, the Grand Prix driver Fangio, Alain Delon, Romy Schneider, Francis Blanche, and Bono. Ooh, Bono was here. That's when he started wearing sunglasses. Lauren says maybe that's why there's a Disneyland in France. I think Disney Paris is after Walt Disney's time. Yeah, I think so. Um, Ron says they forgot to put your name. One day they will. I just do not want to be next to Friedrich Nietzsche. So if they decide, at least don't put me next to him. Right here. Minmaru says, yeah, it's very high. And you want to be here so badly. Yeah, Minmaru, it is very high. We're one Empire State Building high. 1,400 feet high in altitude right now. Wow, massive crane. The modern area of Ez, right here. The car park. There's a church here with the Egyptian cross inside. And the reason there's an Egyptian cross inside is to the Phoenicians. The Phoenicians came over here. They settled in a bunch of different areas all along the Côte d'Azur, the blue coast here in the Mediterranean Sea. And they set up base here. They set up a temple here in honor of Isis. So somewhere around here on this mountaintop. So this is more than 2,500 years of history right over here. And of course the Romans came nearby. They might have used this as well as a lookout point. And then the oldest building is from the 1300s. And it's one of these down here. Hello, Miguelito from Farfield, California. Nice to see you here.
Oh non, c'est pas fini?
So let's see. It says Notre Dame de l'Assomption. The Church of Eze Village is a pure basic volume. Huh, that's a odd way of saying it. Its bell tower was built over the chancel at the foot of the old castle ruins. It is built by the architect Antonio Spinelli from 1764 to 1778 to replace the old rundown church. A part of the funds were granted by Duke Charles Emmanuel III of Savoy. The church was consecrated on 1772. And here, in the 18th century, the facade was decorated with the Our Lady of Assumption, the patron saint, and the coat of arms of Sardinia. Yep, these lands were taken over by Sardinia at some point. Yep, the same name as the island. They were the Kingdom of Sardinia. The almost classical outside appearance contrasts with the Baroque interior. The side aisles are covered with tiles revealing inside chapels on each of the nave. Each chapel is devoted to a particular saint to the Virgin and is decorated with an altarpiece. On the painting representing the St. Francis of Assisi, we can see one of the only representations of the original castle with the banner of the Savoy family. Hello, Nobu. Nice to see you here. Welcome to the broadcast. So Matt, thank you so much for writing down. Yeah, Ez has a population of 2,200 people. So right here, the White Penitents Chapel, Saint Croix Chapel, also called the Chapel of the Penitents Blancs, can only be located by spotting the small bell tower above the rooftops. Small bell. Oh, sorry, there was still music. Yeah, I had to mute because someone was playing reggaeton music, unfortunately. It sucks when people are playing music on such beautiful spots. But yeah, it is gorgeous up here. I think right down there is the area we were yesterday, seeing the views from the both chateaus, or both villas, the Villa Ufruzi Rock and the Greek one, Kerilos. And Yao asked, what am I using for the camera? I'm using the iPhone 13 Pro. Maureen says, wow, the views, yeah, they are quite amazing. Oz from Bay Ridge, nice to see you here. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in from Bay Ridge. I mean, basically, this is Bay Ridge. I mean, Bay Ridge looks very similar to this. It's on the cliffside, it's right by the beautiful sea, not the Mediterranean. In that case, it's the New York Harbor. Brett says, I'm glad you returned to France. Yeah. So I'll show you the meal I end up having. I went to this beautiful place called Delhi, which is right by the entrance of this garden here in Ez. I don't think they take reservations, but it is very packed. So you might have to wait or just get lucky or come here right when it opens. But it started off with some olives with some amazing infused olive oil. I think it was a thyme infused olive oil. Delicious. Great olives. As mentioned in the plaque down there, olives are very commonly grown here. So this is another great olive oil country, similar to Provence. I accompanied that with a glass of rosé made nearby as well. It's called Domaine, and apparently it is an organic rosé. Really, really delicious. And then, you know, I usually don't go for salads. As I mentioned earlier, like salads don't really excite me. I like sweet green in New York City, and first time I had sweet green, it was exciting. And then Greek salads, 2 Greek salads. The regular Greek salad, the one that you find on the mainland, like in Athens, and then the one that you find in Santorini that has a small little difference with tomatoes, and it was like instead of feta cheese, it was a different type of cheese. Really, really good. But generally, I'm not excited for salads, but I end up going for the Niçoise salad, which is very iconic in this region. And oh my, I was shocked by how huge it was. Look how gigantic it is. It is tomato, olives, lettuce, boiled egg. We have also tuna and anchovies, and lots of olive oil. The olive oil was infused with garlic, and wow. And that's a huge breadstick hanging out. That was just mind-blowingly delicious. I did not realize how delicious it was going to be. And it was jam-packed with tuna and anchovies. More tuna than anchovies. I was a little bit worried that Niçoise salad was going to come in with little snippets of tuna and little snippets of anchovies, like 2 anchovies, because that's my perception of salads. Usually in the US, that's what they do. If they say they have meat in it, it's 2 or 3 chunks and that's it. And it's mostly just greens. But no, this one was more tuna than even the salad. And wow, it takes a while to eat it. And that's good because it is an experience. You can't eat it as quickly as you can like a pizza or a pasta. No, you have to really dedicate a good 30 minutes to munch on this salad. And it is mind-blowingly delicious, especially how fresh the tomatoes were. There was a lot of tomatoes, more tomatoes than also greens, which was really great. Susie says no avocado. No, avocado is not normal in the salad niçoise in this region. You can sometimes add it, depends on the restaurant, but it's not local. So yeah, these are all local ingredients, so there's not gonna be avocado. And oh my God, I never had so much omega-3s in my life. And then to finish off, I had a lemon sorbet served in a frozen lemon. And wow, that was delicious. Very, very light sorbet, very bright in terms of its taste with the lemon. And wow, that was amazing. So overall, that experience was just delectable. One of the best things I've ever tried. You'll see more of it on Instagram stories, instagram.com/urbanistlive, or you can go to Facebook Urbanist Live and see more of that of that lunch. I didn't think a salad niçoise was going to be that good, but it is. Now, more views. Hello, M4 Dazin. Nice to see you here. Welcome. Marianne says niçoise is one of my favorites. Hey, Cynthia. Buenos dias. Welcome. All right, let's see what this says. As in traditional architecture, the superimposed orange tiled roofs help understand the topography of Ez village. The narrowness of the streets is only ceded to the small town squares. The architectural tightness preserves many shaded areas, and that's right. So shaded I also can live stream because there's almost no cell phone reception. Helping to withstand summer heat, the ground floors of houses used to be cellars or cattle sheds for goats, sheep, and especially mules. The inhabitants lived on the floors above. In the 17th century, the cellars of the Riviera house, named after the lords of Ez, had plentiful supplies of wine and olive oil. All the houses were built on the same type of limestone called La Turbie stone. The stones were extracted from the quarries in St. Lawrence d'Az and carried back to the village by mules or men. Certain houses were built on the remains of ancient fortified walls of the Iron Age. Wow, lots of centuries back. The blocks of stone assembled without mortar, dry stone technique. After the destruction of the ramparts in 1706, the village developed outside of the walls. Barry Street, which means the walls or ramparts, is now the Hotel de Chèvre d'Or, which apparently is the one where Walt Disney stayed. The Golden Goat, I think? Yeah, the Golden Goat, that's what it means. Where the old fortifications used to stand. On the other hand, the street called Bornu, which means the new borough, is obviously more modern. Fascinating. Miss Lob says, I'm sneaking a peek from work. Hey, Miss Lob, nice to see you here. What food or drink do you miss from home, says Sunshine? Burritos. I only had one good burrito in Rotterdam. Of course, I don't come to Europe expecting burritos, nor am I really seeking them out, but that's one thing I miss, is a good burrito. And avocado toast. There are parts in Europe that have avocado toast, like England has amazing avocado toast. Mind-blowing. France kind of sucks with avocado toast if you find them. They're too plain. They don't have poached eggs like in England or in New York City. Isabel said, first time in this area. Isabel, yes. Within this lifetime, yes, it is. I can't speak for previous lifetimes. Maybe I was one of the princes of Monaco. Maybe I was one of those Hollywood stars that would hang out here in the 1920s. I can't speak for previous lifetimes, but this lifetime, yeah, it's my first time. What are some of the cultural aspects of America? Yes, that's a great question. It is, especially with food, it is the aspect that you can stay and eat as long as you want. In the US, when it comes to dining out, you have to, and especially even when you're dining at home. So this also is in with respect to all types of dining in America. Pretty fast. But here we can take our sweet time with dining. And especially in the restaurant, there's not that much of an incentive to do too much turnaround with tables. So even when I was dining at this very popular restaurant called Deli, as I mentioned, just outside the entrance of this gardens, they were turning people away. People were asking, how long do we have to wait? And they were like, maybe 20 minutes. And someone said they were a little bit more persistent with this, saying, is it going to be more like 20 minutes or longer? And the person was like, the waitress said, no, we can't tell, the tables are going to take their time. And that was very interesting. There's no... It is beautiful because while, yes, you may make less profits, and that's understandable, there is a bigger sense of peace when dining. Ooh, I like that. This is very interesting. This is a gorgeous viaduct. Here it says the viaduct, which spans 80 meters over the ravine, was built between 1911 and 1914. Wow. It was constructed, its construction generated a legend. Ooh, oh my God. It's the same legend. I'm reading from the plaque. It's the same legend that we read all around Italy. A peasant makes a deal with the devil. He asks the devil to build a bridge over the ravine. In exchange, he must give up a soul of the first living creature that crosses it. The peasant has an awful sleepless night, tormented at the idea of sacrificing an innocent victim. In the early morning, he walks down the road and falls upon a magnificent solid stone bridge with 8 arches. Beyond the other side, the devil is claiming his due. The shepherd suddenly picks up a stick and throws it across the bridge. His dog rushes to catch it, losing his soul in the process. The devil, furious at being tricked, walks away, swearing nobody will ever cheat him again. Okay, so this legend is all around Italy. I did at least 2 different videos of the same legend. First time I did it, it was new to me. It was in Venice. I was like, oh, no. First time I did the legend was in Friuli. I was like, oh, this is a very interesting legend. Very Friulian specific legend of a devil building a bridge. And then I did it in Venice. And after I filmed, I was like, wait a minute. I have a deja vu. Didn't I film this video before? And I realized it was the same exact story of the same bridge in Venice. And here we have the 3rd iteration. And there's many other iterations. There was like 2 more I saw in Italy. They were the same story. But this one is sacrificing a poor dog. The other one was like a chicken in Venice. Oh, so poor dog. I would say that guy was much more cruel. I would say sacrificing a chicken maybe is a bit more, less severe than sacrificing a poor dog. But it's a gorgeous. Miss Lop says, I knew this spot felt weird. It does a little bit weird, yeah. I feel it as well. What's your experience with French? They are notoriously stubbornly resistant. I have a tough time to even practice French, to be forced to practice French because in Nice, in Chamonix, in Paris, very easy to speak English. Also in Provence. Lyon was the only place where it was a bit trickier. There was less people speaking English, but even then, it's fairly easy to get by with English. So let's go downstairs. Hey. Chris says, a great spot to practice your watercolor technique. Oh yes, indeed.
c'est bon, on arrête. Könnt ihr euch mal da so hinstellen? Stopp,
Merci.
I really gotta learn how to say no problem in French. Oh, so upstairs I had someone staring hard. I don't know, I'm not sure why people do that. And then you say hi and they stare even harder. So weird. DS asks, what's your favorite part of filmmaking? That's a great question, DS. Because I was recently at con. Oh no, I was always drawn to it ever since I was a little kid. I can't really explain to you. It's like asking an artist why become an artist if they started drawing at like 3 or 4 or 5. So ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to make films. But in terms of live video, I think what draws me is the fact that it's very immersive. You feel like you're here with me, right here. And since it's all one take, some of my favorite films like Children of Men, there's another great film called Victoria, that are one take. They're amazing films. Birdman does a fake one take, and they really immerse you. I think live video does that in a similar way. Chris says, yeah, it's strange. Yeah. It happens sometimes. Susie says, I know you like composing and framing shots. I do, yeah. I am not as specific as some vloggers. There's some vloggers who are really good. I kind of more in the Casey Neistat frame of thinking. I like composing shots that have some type of practical value. I kind of want to show you something, but at the same time, I want to show it to you in an interesting angle that makes you feel immersed. Casey Neistat really does that well in his vlogs. So it's not necessarily cinematically beautiful as some vloggers. There's some vloggers that really film with such beauty, or of course filmmakers too. But for me, it's more about the immersion, about the movement. Oh, I think that's where I am very good in terms of filmmaking. I really got a good sense of movement, more so than other filmmakers. Marianne says, breathtaking. Yeah, truly breathtaking. Ron says, gorgeous, Ariel. Your streams are more immersive than other streamers. I'm so glad. Isabel says, ooh, I like that. The one long take. Yep. Children of Men is not a real one take. There's very few real one take films. Victoria is one of them. There's a Russian Ark. I didn't like that one too much, though. Anthony says, your streams definitely help us viewers like we're there. If you were asked to do a Rick Steves Bourdain show, would you do it? 100%, Anthony. 100% I would do. I want to do. I'm so excited to do a TV show. Would I do it the same exact format as Bourdain or Rick? No. I would take bits and pieces. Bourdain, what I really like about him is that it's cinematic. The man truly loved film. And here's a great photo opportunity. Right here, yeah, if you have someone standing right there. Ooh, great photo opportunity. Wow. I need a tripod. I gotta get a tripod. I lost my poor tripod the other day, which was a bit sad. I used to have a long selfie stick tripod, and I lost it. I mean, not lost it, but broke in Scotland. So I haven't been able to do where I don't have like a bench or a electrical box to put my camera in. That's over here. Okay, let me know if you see me and hear me. I think that side of the hill, the mountain, is pretty shaky for signal. So that's such an excellent question. Let me answer it about doing the show. I 100% will want to do a show, will do a show with TV, on TV, Netflix, or streaming. I would take the cinematic elements of Anthony Bourdain. I think he did that really well. He imitated some movies. I wouldn't do straight homages to films. I wouldn't be that on the nose, but I would love to do more cinematic quality stuff. And then Rick Steves, what he does really well is it feels peaceful. It feels relaxing. There's the vibe of Rick Steves, I think, is really interesting for a travel documentary. I think that's why he's so popular. You just feel relaxed. And of course, you need to have Bourdain and other travel documentaries tend to be a bit more exciting. But Rick Steves, I think the peacefulness is just, you feel immersed in a different quality into these places that he shows. So I would love to kind of combine those two things. But aside from that, I would love to do a more aspect that's more immersive. So do a lot of the shots I already do on live video, like this shot right here. You're literally walking beside me. The movements, lots of camera movements. Lots of TV does not do too much camera movement. And the reason for that is it's more expensive. It's harder to light. And a lot of people are not comfortable with light, using natural light. So that's why you don't see it too much on TV documentaries. You see it sometimes in film. But I would love to do that. Lots of movement. Oh, some. Chris says, would it feel strange not carrying around your camera? I prefer it. I really like someone filming me, but they gotta do it in a good way, the way I like to do it. The reason I'm still filming myself is because I haven't found anyone who can film the same way I can. But I did find someone who can edit the way I can. It's very cool. So I'm not sure if she's going to watch this live video, but she's a Urbanist viewer. She appeared briefly in my Thessaloniki videos. So everyone, give a round of hearts to Maria from Thessaloniki, Greece. Maria from Greece. We have a few Marias, but there was the Maria that we saw in Thessaloniki. And she has started editing. She's edited so far 2 shorts. Just done an amazing job. Has gotten the pace, the emotion, the humor, and the music just right. Ooh, and she's starting as an editor, so I'm amazed by her skill, just even starting out. And she's also an amazing filmmaker in terms of actual videography. So maybe one day we'll collaborate together and do maybe a documentary series in Greece. But round of hearts to Maria. She's doing a great job. She did the windmill video and she did the super waffle video in which they're cut from the live streams I'm doing. Nobu says, "Can I apply for the position of filming you?" I'm very picky, Nobu, but thank you so much for volunteering. Perhaps we can meet.
Faut remonter tout ça là? Il y a d'autres points de vue dans la feuille.
Sharon says, "I've downloaded Rick Steves' audio guides when traveling." Yeah, he's one of my resources. His audio guides are really good, and his app overall that has snippets from his radio show are really good. He talks a lot about culture. He does a really great job. When I started podcasting myself, I wanted to emulate him, but he does it way better. Susie says, "I've edited small YouTube videos. It's tedious." Yeah. Miss Lob says, "The couple lounging." No, this is part of the gardens. This seems to be a group. Over here, it is a hotel. Yeah, this should be the Chef d'Eau, which is the Golden Goat. Miss Lob says, "That was weird." What was weird, Miss Lob? Do let us know. This garden. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoy it. Miss Lob says, "These are behind-the-scenes gems." I'm so glad you're enjoying it. I took one of Rick Steves' tours, says Christine, from Paris to Nice through small villages, including Ez. His tours are very good. The person on the tour was mostly from Seattle and Washington area. Oh, interesting. Yeah, and do let me know the age range. I assume a lot of them were 60 plus, Christine. But that's awesome that you enjoyed one of his tours. He does a great service for Americans that are hesitant to travel or intimidated to travel to Europe. For example, my own parents were considering Rick Steves' tour. I think it was through Greece. And the reason is Greece is a bit more of an intimidating country than Paris, country-sized city, than Paris would be, than England would be, than parts of Italy are. Turkey is probably another great place if you're a bit more intimidated. Matt says, "Any plans to travel on fall?" And someone asked about a philosophical chat. Yes, there will be a philosophical chat this Friday. I don't know the time yet. Let me tell you the time a little bit later. Most likely 8 p.m. French time, but I'll do a post to tell you exactly. This Friday there'll be a philosophical chat with wine. I'll actually have wine this time. And maybe with some food, maybe some home cooked food, maybe. So someone asked, "Any plans to travel in the fall season?" says Matt. Thank you so much for the great question, Matt. And if anyone wants to see anything specific here, I can't really go live from the town because there's no cell phone reception in the town. There might be a little bit more photos from the town, or maybe a small Patreon bonus of walking through the town. But otherwise, here are the views. I hope you enjoy them. So when it comes to traveling in the fall, unfortunately, I've been locked out of the bonuses from Facebook Reels. And my Reels get good views. But unfortunately, And I was making quite a bit of money from those Reels bonuses, but I'm locked out of them, which is very unfortunate. So part of my income has been slashed. So I'm not sure. I really want to travel again in the fall, but I'm not sure. Hopefully it'll come back. Teacup says, why are you locked out? The same reason why they initially locked me on my Facebook page. I got access back for that, but it's the same reason now for no monetization on Reels. It's because they claim that I'm posting from an ineligible country, but France is indeed an eligible country. DS says, I'm curious, what started the idea or inspired the philosophical chats? Spontaneously, I did it back in 2020. I think it was August 2020. I spontaneously went live one night from Dumbo and asked people to ask me anything. But I wanted to have a deeper conversation than just a normal Q&A. So, hence started the philosophical chat. The reason I called the philosophical chat was because I wanted people to ask me philosophical questions, deeper questions, than just how much money do you make? Do you make a living from YouTube? I love those questions. I don't mind being asked from that, but from my point of view, you have to understand that I get them every day, multiple times a day, and then when I meet people in real life, I get the same questions as well in real life. How do you make a living? How do you plan your travels? Airbnb or hotels? What do you say? How much money do you make? Indeed. Sometimes to have a deeper conversation, all you gotta do is have an invitation. Invite people to ask a deeper question. And once you do, you end up having a deeper conversation. It happens when you meet people randomly. You can ask them a deeper question. You can have them ask you a deeper question. Ryan Anthony says, how tall are you? Yes, that's another one. How tall are you? Where do you live? Where are you from? What's your accent? Do you know Spanish? Again, I don't mind that people are asking that. There's a plane. Shelly says, my dream destination. Deborah says, the one thing you always ask is, what camera is this? Indeed. Miss Lob says, inquiring minds want to know how you can pull this off. Yeah. Teacup says, all these destinations are my dream destinations. Anamasu says, it's hard to feel stressed with these views. Yeah, it is. Muslav says, a lot of people want to know exactly how you travel for a living. How can they make it possible? You know, part of me inherently does not like the question. It's nothing personal for the people asking it. I do understand why people ask it. I just don't like too much the intention behind it. Because usually the intention behind asking me how I afford to travel is I want to travel. And that's okay, I get it. But the reason I am traveling isn't necessarily because I decided to travel. It's because I wanted to make films that entertain people and show them the world. So my intentions were more about making something that's valuable to others. Which I don't mean to say as being humble or anything or being self-righteous. I don't mean it in that way. But I would say the moment I mention that you gotta, if you want to travel like this, one way of going about it is to make something of worth to others. Once you say that, I've noticed a portion of the people tune off. To them, it's like, oh, it's kind of, they don't say it outright. Very few people do, but they don't say it outright, but you kind of feel it, that they kind of say, oh, I thought there was some kind of secret, there was some type of thing you do to just travel. But no, you have to work a lot. At least from my point of view, you have to work a lot and make videos that truly immerse people, give them some vicarious travel, bring it to the people who would like to see it the most. And that's how you end up traveling, through a mixture of ways of making money from this type of entertainment. But in my case, it's just providing good entertainment. There's no other shortcut, unfortunately. There's no tip or tricks. There's no Bitcoin strategy. There's no stock market investments or real estate, as some other YouTubers like to do. I don't do that. I literally travel from the entertainment I provide, and I kind of like it that way. So yeah, that's why it's a bit tricky to answer that question, because I don't know. I don't know how you travel for a living. I don't know how you travel for a living. I just do it by making videos of it. Nexus makes a good point. He says, in my honest opinion, your desire to create entertaining videos is the same reason that many artists create. Right, exactly. It's like asking a painter, how do you paint? How do you afford all these canvases? It's like, well, because I like to paint. Actually, that is a great Nexus. Thank you. Wow, Nexus made me realize something interesting. It's like asking a painter, why does he have so many canvases? It's because he simply likes to paint, he or she. Same reason for me. Why do I travel? It's because I like to make movies out of it, videos. Ron says, how sponsored by Squarespace? I'm not sponsored by too many people. Bulova is one of the very few sponsors I've had in recent past. So not too many. I'm not sponsored by Squarespace. They haven't reached out. I wouldn't be opposed. I use them, so since I use them, I'll definitely be. I wouldn't mind being sponsored by them. I saw Riviera being sponsored by Get Your Guide. I think that was cool. I would love to work with Get Your Guide. Avalon says, you keep painting happy little clouds, and I'm loving it. Colleen, nice to see you here. Gail says, it's been such a pleasure watching you grow your career. George says, I can't believe some guy got picked up by Netflix by just eating hamburgers. Yeah, you know, it's the reality of entertainment. It really is. The reason why a lot of artists get frustrated, this applies to entertainers, sometimes they're not mutually exclusive. Not all artists are entertainers, not all entertainers are artists. But why both either get frustrated is because they pour in so much work and mental energy into their art, into their entertainment, that they get puzzled why no one consumes it or why few people consume it. But it's important to not get into that trap, because generally the best art, the best entertainment is usually the simplest type. It's a fact of life. A dude eating a hamburger gets millions of views. Same thing as certain artists, swinging paint, like Polak, Rothko. in terms of modern art, Andy Warhol in terms of the copy and paste. Sometimes it's the simplest things that go a very long way. And a lot of artistry can go behind them. But look at Rembrandt. He was a true master, and he did spend a lot of time in his paintings, but they were the same paintings. He used the same technique throughout his career and mastered that technique of doing portraits with a lot of depth in them. Sometimes it's the simplest thing that goes a long way to the mass audiences. So it's better not to put too much mind into it, but more heart. Wow. Avalon says, wine and dine travels with Ariel. I watch all day, every day. Wendy asked if I ate. Yeah, Wendy, I described my lunch just a little bit before. No cell phone reception in the place I had lunch, unfortunately. Miss Lob says, it's exactly the same with music. If your motivation is to follow a formula, get a hit, you're not making art. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you want to provide good entertainment, sometimes it's better to be much more simple than complicated. Art, you can get complicated. Just don't expect the masses to see it. Renee says, Renee, thank you so much for the super chat. CLP 1,900, about $12, about $6.90. Thank you so much. Develop an audience and then a rapport with them. Yep. Yep, I mean, even Rembrandt himself had to build a rapport with his audience. His audiences happened to be business owners in Amsterdam. Michelangelo had to build a rapport with his audience, which was the Catholic Church, the Holy See. Even the greatest artists had to get to know who was paying for their work and be in good terms with them and make work that they would enjoy. So a lot of people like to think that the greater artists are operating from a vacuum, that they're making work as merely for them, for the sake of high art. The greatest painter of them all, one of them at least, Rembrandt, as I mentioned, dude was selling paintings. he was making paintings of middle-class businessmen or sometimes upper-class businessmen. They were paying for it, and there we go. Those paintings happened to end up becoming high art, but it was a business. It was, in a sense, entertainment too, because they were meant to be on the walls of these guys so they can entertain their guests with it.
Jeg tror faktisk ikke. Det du også.
Michelle says, you're a great life coach. I'm glad you enjoy my life advice. Wow. All right, let's go towards the exit. And Namasu says, was there a point where you thought, oh my gosh, I'm great at creating a catalog of international travels? And Namasu, I started a travel vlog by traveling within New York City. I didn't have the means. I quit my 9-to-5 job. This is, if anyone's considering quitting a stable job, learn from my mistakes and quit with some savings. I quit with none. So I quit with none with the intention of starting a travel vlog. But since I had no money, and I really don't like traveling super cheaply, like going to hostels, never been my thing, I decided to travel within New York City. So that's where I realized, I kind of like this. I kind of like traveling, but it was only within New York City, but you can travel even within one city. You don't really need to travel the world necessarily to provide good entertainment. You can just do it from one city, especially if it's a city like New York. Excusez-moi. Hey, Roma Foods, I just subbed. Nice channel. Hey, Roma, please send me some pasta carbonara. Thank you so much for subscribing. Ooh, someone left a super chat. Oh, Anthony. Great questions and a great super chat. Thank you so much. Anthony says, I enjoy the frequency of the lives. It's like traveling community with you as our guide. If you went the produce show route, I fear we won't get as much content, but we're worth realizing a dream. Hey, Anthony, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. That's so concern of mine too. I really like live streaming, and trust me, I'm very well aware. I want to continue live streaming even when I'm making a show. So the time I spoke with the producer, I told him even from the very first meeting, it's like, hey, if I do a show, I gotta be able to run my own thing, Urbanist, because some shows would want exclusivity and they wouldn't want competing content. Or if I sign up with like a network, the network might want me to exclusively make content for them. But I decided, no. If I start any conversation with the TV show, I have to be able to run Urbanist on my own. They can't have any ownership of what I'm doing on Urbanist, and I have to have the ability to live stream from the same locations that I covered on the TV show and potentially even behind the scenes, and then they can pay for that. But I want to continue running my own show even with the TV series. So thank you so much, Anthony Ryan, for the $20 super chat. Well, trust me, yeah, I'm aware. I've had the opportunity to talk to 2 producers, always said the same thing. Where's your favorite Monsieur hat? Wow, look at the, Mika, thank you so much for the great question. I love that hat, but when I'm traveling longer distances, that hat is a bit of a pain because I can't easily store it. So this is to me going to be a little bit of a longer day trip. So if I'm wearing that hat, when it starts getting to evening, it's a bit of a pain to try either carry it or still wear it because I'm hot and sweaty and it's night. There's no point of the hat. And then the second thing is to hold it is a bit tedious. So that's why I'm not wearing a hat. But when I'm a little bit closer to the base that I'm at, which you'll find out towards the end of this trip, that's when I wear the hat. Or when I know it's going to be so deeply, extremely sunny that I have to wear a hat. Oh my God, dragonfly, wow. Oh, I love dragonflies. Mary Zoo says, I'm from Bucharest. Hey, Mary Zoo. Say hello to Andrew Tate for me. I'm so glad you're in Bucharest. I visited Bucharest for a week. It was really cool. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everyone, give Mary a warm welcome from Romania. Let her know where you're watching from. Him or her, but I think it's a her. Michael says, are you in Tenerife? No. I would love to cover Tenerife. So I'm Puerto Rican. I have, of course, blood from 3 different areas of the world. European, Native American, that's more specifically Taino. And then the third one is African, specifically Yoruba, which is Nigerian. And the European one, a portion of that bloodline, the majority of that bloodline comes from the Canary Islands. So my European heritage is mostly Canary Islander, including my last names. So all my last names actually come from the Canary Islands. Jennifer says, if a dragonfly is near, an angel is here. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've heard about that. I have a good dragonfly story, which was captured on live video.
Без зубов. Есть люди без зубов тут? Не, я говорю про мальчика, то, что без зубов. Он смотрит, как
Avalon says, there are many travel vloggers, but you have just about the best. Your style is very personable and the natural flow with humorous, informative, unique, charismatic content. Thank you so much. And reflection. Ooh, Avalon, thank you so much for the compliment. I appreciate that. And no one Stu says, yeah, there was a lot of YouTubers that go to TV but then go back to the freedom of YouTube. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, that's the problem with the old style of doing TV. There's a lot of, they ask for exclusivity, which is understandable from a business point of view, but it's kind of stifling from an artistic point of view. So if you don't want to stifle your talent, don't do exclusivity. I'm glad you mentioned that, because in the old Hollywood system, stars would actually have an exclusive agreement with the studio, with one specific studio. So Marilyn Monroe, what's her name, Elizabeth Taylor, they would only sign up with one specific studio and only do movies with them. And they would have to do a set amount of movies per year with them. Problem is, this made the actor not have too much leverage. That's one thing. And it kind of stifled them artistically. So they were stuck doing movies that they really didn't care about because they already signed the contract. One such starlet that actually escaped that was the nearby Princess of Monaco, Grace Kelly herself. But this was before she became the princess. Before she became the princess, she was actually already well off, because she had a great inheritance that was in store for her from her father. That was one thing, but she was already pretty self-made. She made enough money herself before even going into Hollywood, or while she was in Hollywood, she was making enough money to take care of herself. So she actually refused to sign those exclusive contracts. And that's why, in a way, she also left Hollywood pretty early once she married Prince Rainier III. So she was very smart. But it's also a bit sad, because she could have done many other great films if she didn't go full into the royal lifestyle. Anasu says, what's your ideal lifestyle, ideal destination? For me, it's 1, beaches, 2, pizza, 3, more pizza. That's awesome, Anasu. Beaches, this has. Pizza, it's okay here. I think you're better off in Italy when it comes to pizza and beaches. Go to Positano, Amalfi Coast. For me, beaches is not the top. For me, yeah, I like urban environments, so city. I like friendly people. Like, really friendly. So that's number 2. And number 3 is cool history, cool stories. So basically with that criteria of the perfect destination, basically I'm saying I really miss Ireland and Scotland. So they have all those three. I love France, but yeah, Scotland and Ireland, especially Ireland, has one up on France in terms of friendliness. They might not have sun, but oh my God, the people there are bright. You don't need sunshine. All you gotta do is talk to the people in beautiful Ireland. Ooh, here we have more dragonflies. Deborah says, I like cities with beaches. Yeah, Nice is one of the best ones. People have Queens underrated, but Queens has amazing beaches in my opinion. I love Far Rockaway Beach. Puerto Rico is another great place with beaches. Veronique says, do you miss the Netherlands? I think the thing I miss the most about the Netherlands is the public transportation. I attempted to take a bus here to Ez. It was completely packed, like sardines. Like the anchovies they served me in my salad, it was that packed. So the only way I could get here was through taxi because I had to wait another hour to catch the bus, which is obscene. That bus passes hourly to such a popular tourist destination. So the Dutch have it right. We're not gonna have too much service here. Yeah, it's gonna go dark, but here's a little bit of snippet of the streetscape. Anthony says, Ireland, I'm going in 2 weeks. I'm gonna have to rewatch your streams for inspiration. Ah, you're going around the same time I did. I went last September as well. Gary says, we're especially friendly in Scotland when someone else is paying the bill. Yeah, and this is the restaurant I went to, Delhi, right here. Highly recommend it. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I wish I could show you the city, but poor cell phone reception in there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you Thursday through Saturday at 3 p.m. French time. Philosophical Chat this Friday night. I'll let you know exactly what time. And then live videos through September 10th. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye. Au revoir, mes amis. Michelle says, would you ever go to Texas? I think I will. America, I think, needs a little bit more of my attention. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring.